Hi everyone, welcome back to llenacrafts. I hope you guys are all doing well since the last time we spoke. And today we are going to be making this really cool folio type. I don't want to say it's a journal. It's an album and it has like journal components as well. So I'm just gonna call it a journal slash album. And yeah, let's get right into it. So on the front here we have a ribbon closure, which I just used an eyelet tool to punch a hole here in order to run the ribbon through. On the front, we did something very different with the paper. It did not come like this with the words here, but I'll show you how I use my stamp in order to do that and to get it sort of in this distressed look. And yeah, we have this beautiful marble paper on the background that has some gold detailing, and I just tied that up. And so when we open it, you'll see we have this page here. Now, I didn't do anything with this page, just left it for writing, which is why I used this paper. However, if you wish, you can put pockets here. You can add more photo holders here, which you'll see the other ones we have on the inside in a moment. And yeah, there's so much things you can do with this page. You can add, of course, pockets like I have here on this page. It was really just a blank sheet, and I just thought, I had this paper from the paper pack, and I was like, oh, this would be really cute. It's very light and easy to write on, so that's why I left that there. On this side, I have just done a page full of pockets. So we have pockets here, and going up, these are all four pockets, which are 2 inches in width, or well, 2 inches in length, and about 4 inches in width. And so there's just pockets going all the way up this page, which I thought would be really cool that you can tuck anything in. For now, I've just added, the little bookmarks and things like this that comes with the paper packs. But of course, you can use this to add so many things, tickets, anything that's memorable to what you're going to be housing within the album itself. All right, so here on this side, what we actually have are these waterfall photo holders, which holds exactly 4x4 pictures, and it just opens up like that. And yeah, we just have the different waterfalls. So what you would do in this instance, I didn't use the photo punch because you would just tape the 4x4 whatever picture here. These are specifically for 4x4 pictures, so you would just tape them right here, use a little glue dot, whatever you use to adhere it. Maybe if you use some glue, whichever you prefer. And yeah, you just attach them here. So you can add one here at the very bottom and then attach one to each one moving forward. And this side, of course, works with this because you can add whatever memorabilia comes with the photo, like if you went to a concert or something like that. On this side, we have an envelope, which I just, added another piece of journaling paper to. And this envelope, you don't need a punch board, the envelope punch board, to make it. I'll show you guys how I've made it. I just added a small circle here in order to keep the envelope closed. And on this side, we have a cute little another journaling section that you can actually write what happens in the picture. And I think this would be such a good present to give to someone who, who likes for like a cute little present. Like they could have pictures, they could put something here, and it kind of just encompasses a lot of what we do within like junk journals and albums, and just sort of making something really pretty that can be used for saving memories. And so when you close it up here, again, we saw this portion. Actually, we could tie this. I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. Yeah, and when you close this up, we've already seen this section. And on the back section, I just added 2 more papers. Of course, you can put these in a U design with double-sided tape in order to create a large journaling section for inserts on the back of this. But I didn't really want to do that for this journal because the inside has so many pockets and stuff like this. I just wanted to use different papers on the background in order to, just bring the journal to life. And so when you fold it over like this, Of course, you're gonna bring this around and you could tie it just like this in the front. And so this is what we are going to be making today. All right, so to start, I already have my scoreboard out because what you're going to be needing is a 12 by 8 piece of paper. So 12 by 8, and we're going to score on the 4 and the 8-inch marks. And I'm using a just regular colored cardstock because I didn't want to use double-sided paper because a lot of the inside it covers up, and I didn't want to cover up that portion. But I also wanted when the paper is on, it's still a color in the background. Like it's not just like white. Even though the white would look good with some papers, of course, but for this instance, I didn't want to have that going on. And so I'm just gonna fold this in. Let's use fold folder in order to get that situated. And there we have it, that folds in this way and that way. Now that we have our base out of the way, what I really want to do is just show you how to quickly make an envelope without using like a punch board or anything like that. And so how I make it, and there's plenty of tutorials that show this, is just bring over one tip to the other tip, and I press down here just to find the middle. And I do this along the other side as well, trying to get it as even as possible. Press down the middle. Now you have what should be an X in the middle, like you see there. And so what I just do is bring one side over here. And you can do this with any size as long as it's equal distances. For this is a 6x6 piece of paper that I'm using to do this, but you could do it 5.5 by 5.5. You could do 5 by 5. It's really up to you. And what you're gonna do is just bend this to the middle here. As straight as possible. Burnish it if you have to. And then on one side, what I do is I bring it up just a little bit more than the sides. Like as you can see, I'm bending it here just so that it actually comes up here. And then I burnish it. And there you have your envelope. We are just going to attach using some glue. And of course, you can add some here on the end where you want it to lay flat. And what I like to do is just take my 2-inch hole punch and let it sit to the side to add some pressure while the glue dries. All right, so now we're gonna work on this side of the journal first, this page of pockets. What I have here is a 3 7/8 by 8-inch piece of paper, and you want it to be slightly smaller than 4 inches, so that way when you fold it over, it doesn't bunch up on the seams here. So that's why I have it slightly smaller than 4 inches, which is what the width of this section is. And we're gonna score on 1/4 along this edge, and then we're going to turn it the next way, and we're going to score at 2, 4, and 6, and you're going to see that now. All right. Now to attach it, what we're going to do is place just some glue here. I usually like to do double-sided tape, but I don't have double-sided tape that's small enough for this section. So we're just going to do glue this time. So we're going to glue along the entire binding section, which is that 1/4 that we made the score for. And then we are also going to glue along the edges and along the bottom of each pocket. So you'll see what I'm doing here. Now we're going to work on this section right here, which is just our waterfall. And what I have for that is I have one piece of paper that is exactly 4x4 that goes at the base. And then each paper that goes above it, I have now cut it at 4.5 by 4 inches. And we're going to score on the 1/2 inch mark along the 4.5 inch side. And you'll see what I mean by that. So all right, now to attach these, what we are going to do is attach this 4x4 base first to this middle section, and then we'll continue adding the other sections as we move up. And for this base, I'm just going to use some double-sided tape. All right, and so for our envelope, to make the closure, what I'm going to do is actually use, of course, I always tell you guys, like, if you have scraps, just use your hole punch if you have one. Cut out shapes, so that way you can have them for purposes like this. I am just going to add this here from a scrap piece where I just cut it into a circle, and that is going to be the closure for this. And I'm only adding glue to just the very bottom to attach it, so that way we can take the top out when necessary. Okay. And we're not going to add this just yet. What we're going to work on now is this journal section here. And you've seen me make a little journaling section like this before. It's nothing too new or too fancy. Instead of using regular copy paper, I opted to use just some pretty purple cardstock that goes along with the colors of the project itself. So these are 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and the back portion is 3 7/8 by 4 inches. And so what we're just gonna do is take these off. We don't need those anymore. And of course you can use the book binding. We're going to be using a book binding method, of course. However, what I want to do, okay, that's the way I want it to be, is actually easier. I'm just going to use my hole punch as I normally would in order to put this exactly where I want it to be. All right, so now we're gonna add our envelope to this side. And the reason why I shifted the papers down a little bit and left this ridge here is because the envelope ends up coming right up to that section right there. And so the papers flip up this way and the envelope is right above that little, the line where the papers are. Of course, you can make the envelope smaller if you wanted, but I liked the size of this envelope, so that I did it that way. And we're just going to attach that now. Now, before we start filling in the pockets and creating, little pieces that's going to go inside of it, I'm going to work on the closure for the waterfall photo holders, as well as the closure for the journal itself in totality. And so to do that, I'm going to take this ribbon. I got this ribbon from the Dollar Tree. And so it was $1.25, even though it's the Dollar Tree. And I'm just gonna measure out, just eyeballing it. Probably a little bit too much. Let's see. Okay, so, and that is the perfect amount for this. Now I'm going to flip it over to the back, and in order to hold this in place, what I'm going to do is add the pieces that are going to be on the back. And so these pieces I've cut to 4 by 8. And it's just pieces that are going to fit here like this. Now for the closure portion, I'm just going to take an eyelet and my eyelet tool, and really and truly I'm just going to put it here on the edge and just put it in. And I'm just going to use the same ribbon as before. And I got to fold it a couple times to get it through, but yeah, it goes through. And then what I do is just bring it around, close it up, bring it around to see how much I need. Now, while this is very nice and beautiful, I do want to add a little bit more of a distressed look, and so I'm going to be using this stamp pad along with my large stamp in order to just create some visual interest using the words on the different portions of the front and the back part. So now, of course, if you're using a paper pack, it usually comes with some sort of little ephemera pieces that you can use. So I just cut up the page that had all of these little pieces, and I'm just gonna see what fits where and just stick them in. All right, guys, so this is the finished journal. Thank you guys so much for sticking through this tutorial with me. We're going to do our final walkthrough, look at what we've created together. And so on the front here, of course, we did our ribbon closure that wraps around the journal and to keep it closed, of course. Taking this back this way. On this side, we have our pocket, our page of pockets that are all 2 inches tall. And I just, of course, added some little journaling situations here. These came with the paper pack like this. This one I just had scrap from the from cutting up the different papers, and so I just decided to, you know, turn it into a tag and stick it in there. On this side, we have another ribbon closure. We're gonna open up. And here we have our photo holders, and it is in a waterfall design. And you can just tape your 4x4 pictures directly onto these, glue them on however you choose to do it, but you have a couple spaces for that. On this side, we have this cute little journaling section, which we just use some colored cardstock for. Of course, you can use copy paper if that's what you desire. And up top here, I just added a cute little envelope with in the design of the other papers, just to add a little something extra and bringing the cohesiveness of the entire journal. And inside, I just took one of those little pieces that came in the journal pack for journaling, and in the paper pack, sorry, for journaling, and just tucked it in there. You know, you could do whatever you want with that. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me throughout this project tutorial, and I hope you guys try it out, make it, give it to somebody, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.